Los Angeles. When it comes to our transportation triumphs and failures, it's the ultimate example.
LA has more cars than any other county in America, 12 million of them. It's a vast fleet that can move us to every corner of the county. It's also 12 million reasons why we might not get there on time.
Unlike Las Vegas, LA doesn't have roads smart enough to move all this traffic. And unlike Dallas, there's no room here to build new freeways. It's one more system limited by plans made in another era. 100 years ago, most people in Los Angeles traveled by streetcar, and they had the largest urban rail network in the world. Then in the 1940s, the city abandoned streetcars and began an unprecedented freeway building frenzy. This set of aerial surveys shows how freeways were designed to cut through neighborhoods. That prompted activists to fight back and block construction of new roads. As a result, LA was left with the worst of both worlds: devastated neighborhoods and an incomplete freeway system. This original freeway plan promised an additional 1,500 miles of road. And here's what was actually built: just 918 extra miles. And the city has had to deal with that shortfall. Every driver in LA experiences 64 hours of delays on average every year. Nearly 3 entire days spent stuck in traffic. One man who has spent his life soaring high above it all can offer unique insights into the city's complex relationship with its cars.
This is a way to get around LA.
We're probably going to cruise at about 115 miles per hour, which is certainly better than what we're looking at down below us on the I-5 freeway, where they're inching along at probably 3 miles per hour.
Right.
Hey, listen, let me just take a break here. I've got a report coming up on the station. Well, once again, we wanted to tell you about that SIG alert up on the 210.
Commander Chuck Street is the city's last radio traffic reporter who still pilots a helicopter to hunt down bottlenecks.
And so far, the eastbound 210 freeway is backed up to the 118. You know, I've been up here doing a traffic watch over Los Angeles for 27 years.
Have you seen a lot of changes in traffic?
Of course, the traffic is worse, a lot more volume. Rush hour starts earlier, lasts longer. It starts out at some of the freeways coming in from the east at 5 a.m.
Wow.
And it probably goes until about 8 p.m.
So calling it rush hour is sort of a misnomer. It's more like rush day.
Yeah, even the word rush I don't think is appropriate. For some reason here in Southern California, commuters are really independent souls. And they really like having that freedom. But also, I think that an automobile is kind of a statement about them and who they are, or at least who they think they are. It's part of their identity, really.
What do you think is going to happen over time?
Well, I think the freeways will get so slow where a lot of people will just decide it's not worth the grief and the stress. So hopefully they will start embracing mass transit.
A revival of its mass transit system might be LA's best hope to keep the city moving. So the city is now investing in a dozen projects like this one. You're looking at an old streetcar route that was paved over years ago, and now it's being reclaimed for a new light rail line. Infrastructure's cycle of life. But these projects are big and expensive. And it's hard to imagine the people of Los Angeles giving up their deep-rooted car culture.
LA's endless tangle of roads and freeways. Another system at the breaking point. Like many other transportation networks, there are plenty of ideas on how to fix this. But the question is, will we?